What if I told you that something you do almost every single week in your own kitchen with the best of intentions could be quietly putting your health at serious risk? Not because you're careless, not because you don't care about eating well, but because no one ever explained what really happens to certain foods the second time heat touches them. You're trying to save money. You're trying to avoid food waste. You're being practical. And yet that one simple habit, reheating leftovers, may be silently exposing your body to chemical changes that researchers have connected to some of the most serious health concerns of our time. Hello, friend. I'm Dr. Mark Anderson. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 5 common foods that most experts agree should never be reheated, especially not at high temperatures. I'll explain what's actually happening to these foods on a chemical level. And I'll share simple, science-backed alternatives you can start using tonight. This is information I wish every patient knew before walking out of my office. So please, stay with me to the end. Because food number 5 surprises almost everyone, and it might be sitting in your refrigerator right now. Why reheating matters more than you think. Before we dive into the foods themselves, I want you to understand something important. The first time food is cooked, certain chemical reactions take place. Proteins interact with sugars and heat. Fats begin to oxidize. Nitrogen compounds shift around. In most cases, the body can manage these compounds in moderate amounts. But reheating changes everything. When you apply heat a second time, 3 things happen. First, many of the natural antioxidants and protective compounds in the original food are further broken down. Second, the small amounts of harmful compounds produced during the first cooking are now produced again, but without those protective buffers. Third, bacteria and enzymes that became active during cooling and storage have already started shifting the food's chemistry, and reheating drives those reactions even further. Some of the compounds produced this way have been studied extensively. Major health organizations have linked certain reheated cooking byproducts, like N-nitroso compounds and certain advanced cooking compounds, to long-term cellular changes in the body. None of this means a single reheated meal will harm you. The concern is repeated exposure over years and decades. So let's look at the 5 foods most worth being careful with. Food number 1, processed meats. This is the one that surprises people the most because they reheat it without thinking. Bacon, sausage, hot dogs, deli ham, smoked turkey, canned meats, anything cured, smoked, or preserved. Here's the issue. These meats are made using preservatives that, during processing, already create small amounts of chemical compounds linked to long-term health concerns. They begin life with these compounds already inside them, so when you cook them, you're starting with a less than ideal chemical baseline. And when you reheat them, especially at high temperatures in the microwave or skillet, you accelerate the formation of these compounds even further. Major health organizations have classified processed meats in a higher risk category for long-term consumption. Reheating them on high adds even more concern to that picture. I'm not telling you to never enjoy bacon or a sausage breakfast. I'm telling you, eat them once, fresh, the day they're cooked. And if you must warm them up the next day, do it gently in a low-heat oven or skillet, not blasted at high heat in the microwave. Food number 2, spinach and leafy greens. This one truly catches people off guard. Spinach is healthy, kale is healthy, beet greens are healthy. So why would reheating them be a problem? Here's the science. Leafy greens contain naturally occurring nitrates, which in fresh form are completely harmless and even support healthy circulation. But once those greens are cooked and stored, even in the refrigerator, bacteria and enzymes begin slowly converting those nitrates into nitrites. The longer the cooked greens sit, the more this conversion happens. When you reheat them, the heat speeds up that conversion and pushes the chemistry one step further, into compounds that researchers have flagged as concerning when consumed regularly over time. The same applies to celery, beetroot, and even cooked carrots in some cases. These vegetables are powerful when fresh, less so when reheated. The fix is simple and almost embarrassingly easy. Cook only as much as you'll eat. If there's leftover cooked spinach, eat it cold the next day in a salad, on a sandwich, or blend it into a cool dip. Cold doesn't drive the harmful chemical reactions, heat does. Food number 3. Used cooking oils and fried foods. Most people sense that reused oil isn't ideal, but they don't fully understand why. When cooking oils, especially polyunsaturated ones like sunflower, corn, soybean, and canola oil, are heated to high temperatures, a process called lipid peroxidation begins. This produces a cascade of compounds, including aldehydes and other oxidized byproducts. Studies have shown some of these compounds may damage cells over long-term repeated exposure. Now imagine reheating fried food, like leftover fried chicken or French fries. You're applying heat again to food that was already cooked in oil that had already gone through one round of high heat changes. Each reheating compounds the previous chemical breakdown. And here's a surprise most people miss. Microwaving fried foods creates uneven heat. Some surface areas get scorched at extremely high temperatures, while other parts barely warm. Those scorched microscopic patches are where the highest concentration of harmful compounds form. The smarter approach is to eat fried foods fresh, only when they're first made. If you must reheat, use a moderate temperature oven that warms food evenly. And please, never reuse frying oil. Discard it after a single use. Food number 4, rice. This one's different from the others, and it's important you understand why. The risk with reheated rice isn't really about chemical changes from heat. It's about a bacterium called Bacillus cereus. The spores of this bacterium are extremely common in uncooked rice and survive the original boiling process. They lie dormant in cooked rice and start multiplying when the rice is left at room temperature. Here's the catch. As they multiply, they produce toxins that are heat resistant. Reheating kills the bacteria, but the toxins they already created stay behind. They survive microwaves. They survive stovetops. And consuming them can cause vomiting, cramping, and diarrhea. Long-term, repeated mild exposure to these toxins may also contribute to chronic gut irritation, which over many years isn't ideal for digestive health. The protocol for rice is simple. After cooking, cool the rice within an hour and refrigerate it. Don't leave it sitting on the stovetop for hours. Eat refrigerated rice within 24 hours. When reheating, reheat only once and make sure it's piping hot throughout, not just warm in the middle. Never reheat the same batch of rice twice. If you cook rice in big batches, consider switching to smaller, fresher portions. The convenience isn't worth repeated exposure to bacterial toxins. A quick pause. If this video has been useful so far, I want to ask a small favor. Tap that like button. It takes 1 second and it helps YouTube share this with more people who genuinely need it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Every week I share honest, research-based health information for adults over 60. Now, let's get to the last food, the one that surprises almost everyone. Food number 5. Eggs. Yes, eggs. Eggs are one of the most reheated foods in modern kitchens. People scramble them in the morning, save half, and microwave them later in the day. Hard-boiled eggs get warmed up in soups. Egg-based dishes are reheated for tomorrow's lunch. Here's why this matters. Eggs are very high in protein, and their protein structure is sensitive. When eggs are cooked once, the proteins are broken down in a way your body can use efficiently. But when eggs are reheated, especially at high temperatures, those proteins can break down further and undergo unwanted chemical changes. Some researchers have raised concerns that reheated egg dishes can produce compounds that may irritate the digestive tract over time. There's also the bacterial side. Eggs are a high-protein, moisture-rich food. If they sit at room temperature too long before being refrigerated, harmful bacteria can multiply quickly. And like rice, some of those bacterial byproducts can survive a quick reheating. The fix is easy. Cook only as many eggs as you plan to eat. If you have leftover eggs, refrigerate them right away and eat them cold the next day. Hard-boiled eggs make a perfect cold snack, no reheating required. If you do reheat egg dishes like quiches or omelets, do so gently in an oven or skillet at low heat, never on high in the microwave. Bringing it all together. So let's recap. 5 foods, 5 different reasons to be thoughtful, but one unifying message. Processed meats already contain compounds that high heat reheating can multiply. Leafy greens convert from healthy to unhealthy when their cooked form is reheated. Cooking oils and fried foods build up harmful byproducts each time they're reheated. Rice can carry heat-resistant bacterial toxins if it's not stored and reheated properly. And eggs, while a wonderful source of nutrition, are best eaten fresh or cold the next day, not microwaved. You don't need to change your entire diet. You don't need to give up the foods you love. You just need to apply 5 small habit changes. Eat processed meats fresh and never reheat at high temperature. Eat cooked spinach and leafy greens cold the next day. Discard used cooking oil and don't microwave fried leftovers. Cool rice within an hour, refrigerate it, and reheat only once until steaming hot. And eat eggs fresh or cold, not blasted in the microwave. These small adjustments, applied consistently over weeks, months, and years, can meaningfully reduce your exposure to the specific compounds that food scientists have flagged as worth limiting. A final word. I want you to leave this video with information, not anxiety. Food is one of life's greatest joys. Cooking for your family is an act of love. Eating well is something you deserve at every age. The goal here isn't fear, it's awareness. Tell me in the comments, which of these 5 foods surprised you the most? I read every single comment, and your answers honestly help me understand what people most need to hear. If this video gave you something useful, share it with someone who reheats food every day without thinking about the chemistry behind it. You may be giving them the gift of better health. If you haven't subscribed yet, please join us. Every week, new videos covering honest, science-based health information designed for adults over 60. One quick reminder, everything in this video is general health education, not personal medical advice. Always speak with your own doctor before making major changes to your diet or routine. Your physician knows your full history, and that's where the best decisions are made. I'm Dr. Mark Anderson. Take care of yourself. Cook fresh when you can, and I'll see you in the next video.